Mayam ze chachayim. Kufatan Elohim melech haolam. Borei pri hamayim. You know, I don't care at this point what my anti-fan club staff has to say. You people are on a totally divergent reality track from my blood and spiritual family. My spiritual family is the Rainbow Hippies, live music and art community, and I'm not necessarily even hippies there. I'm part of the live music and art community, the independent musicians who just play on street corners and in drum circles and bar bands. That's my family, and I've been part of it for many, many years, like 40. And in that time, I've been a good ally to the Native Americans. I was connected to AIM and the Leonard Peltier Defense Committee when I was on the road. I had a Uweepi ceremony sung for me by Leonard Crowdog in 1993. I was at a Sundance with them. It was led by the Bellacourt brothers. I was in a pipe ceremony on Venice Beach with Archie Lanedeer for the harmonic convergence. I've had, direct tutoring from a mixed race Choctaw brother who was like a master's in history, who got drummed out during the Jim Crow era. He's from Memphis. Got kicked out during Jim Crow from George Washington University for being too much of a nigger lover. And he's my carving teacher and my Reiki instructor, and he was a pipe carrier. And the recently deceased Ferguson Plain, I met in a group, and we were very close, sharing our knowledge of our ancestors with each other, and just talking about this and that and the other thing together. He's a great storyteller, and I told him my stories, and we enjoyed each other's company a lot. We taught each other a lot. And I want to read a few things for y'all tonight. I joined a new group. I can't really say what the name of it is. It's not a real big one, and it's public. So I don't want you guys to know where it is right away until I've met the admins. I've just made a few comments. Facebook wouldn't let me make my own introductory post, which I'll read for you. I hit this one first. There's a picture that someone calling themselves Olive Palestine, personal blog, "We are the roots of the earth." I'm gonna like that. Showing a picture of students who glued the Palestinian flag on their desks in Algeria, and some schmuck come along and post a picture. Palestine is the only country in the world that never existed before its occupation. And I saw this because my friend Nader Jalad, I don't know how he pronounces it, I've never heard him say it out loud, it's Jalajel. He says, if Israel is an established country, what are its borders? Which is a good question. And I asked, let's see, is this his laugh emoji? No, this is somebody else's laugh emoji. Get that cock up from the Hasbara handbook, did you? In the past 10,000 years, Palestine has been ruled by 12 different empires. The Jews were never in the majority there prior to 1948, even during the few hundred years of its failed kingdom. The people indigenous to the Levant, living in this crossroads of empire on the land bridge, have never enjoyed autonomy, and since the Romans have been governed as a possession of some empire under the name Palestine. The apartheid Zionist state brutally occupying Palestine, on the other hand, has no right to exist according to Hebrew and international law. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. My ancestors wrote those fucking books everybody misinterprets and fights over. Zionists exploit it, and the Christians just like totally misinterpret commandments made to the Jews carry them forward in their own fucking vengeful, expansionist, colonialist, imperial, male supremacist, authoritarian crap. Did I say that? Was it coherent? It's really important to be coherent. So let's go find my the introductory. Well, I'll read a few things. This is interesting. Somebody posted something. I've become more radical in the last 5 years than in all my days at college, law school, and 41 years of practicing law. They say one gets more conservative as they grow older, and I say not if you're paying attention. And a few people said, nah, that's bullshit. And I said, I'm a lot more conservative than I was when I was young, but not to the point of being stupid about it. Since coming out 10 years ago, I'm discovering that a lot of leftist social justice warriors are just privileged assholes demanding special treatment from the establishment in exchange for the social status they get from their psychopathic, fragile victims of homo/transphobic bullying following. Their online wars with religious extremists, Nazis, and TERFs, and outbursts at retail clerks demanding to be called ma'am are one of the biggest impediments to the struggle for queer equality because they're so visible. People who don't know better think they represent the whole community. And this is what's going on with Cami Doc's girl and me. And I don't know if it's for real, but somebody reached out to me by phone text telling me that she's feeling like she wants to make a truce and feeling really bad about just being wrong-headed. I'm not sure exactly where they're coming from because I'm not sure they're exactly being sincere. They might be baiting me. I'm real, I think I'm gullible when I'm just giving them the benefit of the doubt, or sometimes I know that I'm getting messed with, and I'll just draw them out. I'll just play with them. Most of the time, they think I'm gullible, and I know they're fucking with me from like almost Jump Street. It's like, oh, I'll play along and be like, no. I went off on Bill Maher a little bit. Actually, I didn't really go off on Bill Maher that much. I just posted the thing and said, always the classist, unfunny corporate tool punching down. Fuck Bill Maher. Bill Maher rails on van life, says Brian Laundrie is prime example, which is what I've been saying straight along. This story got big coverage because it's going to be useful as a propaganda tool to shame people who drop out from debt slavery and go on the road. He's talking this shit. Oh, that's shit that people do after they waste their entire life working and retire, buy an RV and go see all those nice places in America they wish they had seen when they were young and healthy. I got a few friends that are like feeling alone, posting this. Nobody knows you and nobody gives a damn. And what I'm saying to everybody, because we're all a bunch of fucking misfits. I have hundreds of friends and every one of us is fucked up in some way. Every single one of us has something, but we're all aware of our shortcomings and cope well. We manage. We have good support networks. We have good outlets, nice, constructive, productive outlets for our anxieties and rage and shit. We don't take it out on each other, and we don't beat up ourselves. We beat up art, musical instruments, shit like that. And so what I'm saying to all these people is we need to know ourselves and give a damn about ourselves before anybody else is going to want to have anything to do with us. How many of you were attracted to my intelligence and shameless, straightforward, no-holds-barred honesty? Now picture yourself in my shoes. Starting at age 4, I'm being told that I can't be a girl because I have a penis, and regularly getting punished and bullied for disagreeing with authorities and upsetting stupid people who didn't understand what I was saying. Besides grandparents, aunts, and uncles, there's been a steady stream of mentors and allies to help me basically get along with myself enough to be able to live among colonized human beings being farmed on cemented over wetlands. It wasn't until I stopped living inside my head, suppressing my female nature, that more people wanted to get to know me. I had been frustrated, angry, and anxious, panicking over nothing and getting enraged over little more since I started HRT in 2015. My Tom moments have been few, far in between, at a pretty low intensity. Nothing got broken and nobody got hurt. I'll never be happy with what was done to my sex as a baby, but by finding happiness and contentment in the rest of my life, I'm blessed with a global network of loving friends, equally fucked up in their own unique ways, coping with their hardships on their own and putting a positive face out to a terribly broken world. And here's a brother, it's a native brother. I'm happy to have met you. You're a very good friend of mine and always will be. And here's one of the sisters who was like having a pity party today. Asked me, do any of them seek you out before you seek them out? Do any of them check in just to say what's up? If so, then tell me what the fuck I'm doing wrong. There's very few people I know that I consider real friends, and that's what I feel I need now. And my answer to her was yes, but not often. If I knew what to tell you, I'd be a lot more popular than I am, and my friends would have more quality time for me. My friends have more than none, and that's enough. Okay? Another brother who loves me very much, who's is seriously fucked up in his own way. He's saying amen. Where's, oh, did I not, oh my God, did I not save it? Son of a bitch. Fuck. Thanks, Facebook. That's okay. I'll read what I posted. Let's see what we got going on in here. Here's the first one I posted. Was sister shared a post of it was a drawing of natives in a lodge with headdresses. Now, you know, you have to understand that those big long ones that everybody gets pissed off about people wearing at Halloween, those are war bonnets. They only wore those certain for ceremony and to go fight. This is a bunch of people with just a few, you know, little feather bonnets, you know, a little bit, a couple of feathers sticking up. And there are two men with a woman in the middle of the room and a child in her arms. And it says, why our children should know their language and have Indian names. Our children must have a name in their native language so the Creator will know them when they pass from this world to the next. All of the ceremonies must be done in our language as the Creator taught us. When no person of our language speaks our language, we will no longer exist as Ankwe-Honwe. Now, I don't know what nation that is, because they all have different languages. There were hundreds of different languages here. Now, the Jews, we had at least two. We didn't use Hebrew. No, we split pretty much. The Jews that went north and into Europe had Yiddish, which is a patois of Hebrew and German and Polish, and a few other things. And then the Sephardim who stayed in Western Asia and North Africa had Ladino, and there were probably other languages I'm not familiar with, because like people have their own little patois. I mean, my family had their own little patois that hardly anybody can understand. I can't even speak it. It's just, I have to think about it just to remember how it worked. So somebody said, "Aho, motakiyasa oyasin," and that struck me because I told him I've never seen that spelling before. I learned to spell it Metakwe from Oglala and Sinkantu friends, and that would be Aho Metakwe Asan without that second S in Motakiyasa. Oh yes, there's not a second S in there. We all need to keep our traditional languages alive, or we will all be assimilated into debt slaves like a huge bowl of butterscotch pudding. Spoken Yiddish died with my great-grandparents, and only fragments remain today in my family. I'm a native Hebrew Israelite whose forebears arrived as refugees between 1880 and 1935. Though my distant ancestors were indigenous to Eastern Europe and Western Asia, my clan has no roots anywhere living but on Turtle Island, and this is our 7th generation here. I love to learn the words of the original people of Turtle Island, and my indigenous friends love learning Yiddish and Hebrew. Sharing like that helps us preserve our own cultures and unite against the unsustainable technology of industrial fascism, threatening the indigenous way of life for all nations everywhere. And this one got two reactions out of me. Nobody's seen these yet. The other one's got a like. Now this isn't a real big group. I expect by end of the morning there's going to be at least 10 likes on every single one of my comments here. So I'm proud of what the words that came from me this time for these people. And I don't. Oh, she's speaking Cherokee here. Stayu, stay strong. We all struggle. Now I know to, and now I'll say Wado. Because Wado is how you say thank you in Cherokee. And this is a woman. We all struggle. We all doubt ourselves and think about giving up. Don't. We all matter. We all come from bravery, honor, and resilience. And the meme is a drawing of Kokopelli in the Southwest with saguaros and a moon and a lizard. And it says, no matter what is happening in your life, love yourself. And the comments, there weren't many, there was only one comment above mine. And as a sister said, trying, it is hard. And I come along and said, Wado. King Solomon taught that every pursuit other than seeking peace and contentment is a vain chasing after wind. We're all one people made from the dust of the earth and the energy of the sun. We're all taught by the sages and avatars of our ancestors to love the Creator and all of creations in ways that we would want to be loved in return. Live life loving living. Tune out the misguided bigots who are traveling on a divergent reality track from the true children of the earth, doing the best they can to love all and hate none, in peace, love, unity, and respect. Don't give your angry thoughts any life outside your head as Lashon Hara, or evil words, obeying the Eitzah Hara, the Sitra Akra, or evil inclinations of the other side. Sing to the Creator your thanks and praise for everything in your path every day. And I added Debbie Friedman's song.
Guys, you won't believe this new band I just got from my Apple Watch.
Morning into Dancing. And then a little later, about 10 minutes after I posted that, I thought again about saying something about Kokopelli. And posted a link to something more about Kokopelli. I said, I play flute and live in the Southwest. Kokopelli is one of the lesser deities who's much loved by the Lord Yehovah, who I feel with me when I'm out and about blowing on my flute around Tucson. Like Hashem, Kokopelli has a twisted sense of humor, and though he is most beloved for his powers over fertility and the merriment of his music, He's also a bit of a trickster and swindler to test and teach us. I had to respond to this one too. This is the Cherokee sister. Don't forget to wear this was the day before the Memorial Day, the Orange Day. Don't forget to wear orange tomorrow. Every single child deserves to be found. Every single child needs to come home. How did they sleep? This is the question. It's in the medicine wheel. How did they sleep knowing there was a pile of dead children beside them? And they called us savages. Did I respond to both of these people? Yep. So the first one said, we're still far from reconciliation until all the truths are exposed. And my response was, they barely exposed the tip of the iceberg and nobody's accepting responsibility yet. So this is very true in regard to the authorities, Joanne. But there are huge numbers of us who are native to here, but our ancestors indigenous to elsewhere, who've been standing against the machine with our indigenous neighbors since the Alcatraz occupation and before. I got recruited into the struggle for indigenous rights and environmental justice in 1989 when I recovered a bunch of LPDC media and signed petitions for Leonard's release in the trash at the Nevada Rainbow Gathering. And here's a lady saying, I wonder that sometimes. They were righteous in their corruption. I don't believe they had thoughts, but then they could confess their sins and be released. Whereas we simply put, don't do anything that would harm anyone. Yeah, right. They live by the golden rule, and they don't have many rules besides that, because you don't really need them if you live by the golden rule. I raised my son that way. I told him, don't do anything you have to apologize for. And my response to her was, anybody who could torture children, breaking their limbs, crushing their skulls, isn't likely to have any trouble sleeping because they've lost their humanity and have no conscience. And so, you know, that's 22 minutes of that shit. And yeah, I have a lot of flaws, and people who bully others for things that they have no control over, they're the ones with the problem. You know, I'm sorry. You know, listen, yeah, take a quick peek at the idiots. I haven't been on another message board for a number of hours, many hours. Yes, private message here from Jimmy Webster. Yeah, Webster's trying to tell me that the sergeant who took the report has been compromised by either Null or Tom Madera. He's jerking my chain. My response was, bad fucking chance of that, but I will know the next time I see him. You cannot lie to me to my face. I'm sorry. That just doesn't work. So now we go over to, somebody, here, let me read that. Let's read this. Who the hell is this? What the hell is that? Ha! This is interesting. Well, let's see, where's the first? That's a fucking weird ass. Okay, here's number one. Hello, sorry if I'm bothering you so late. I'm a friend of Laura's, and she told me about how you and her have been fighting online. I know how emotional she can get, so I'm sure she's said some not so nice things to you as well. I wanted to message you to ask if you could please just not talk to her. She's been depressed about this, and it just turns into her fighting more. Do you think that you could just come to a silent truce and ignore what she says? I feel really bad for her. Oh, I see what that is. This, though, is interesting. Where did that other one go? This is a winner. This one's in my phone. I have a feeling it's Saga. And they're contacting me from a phone I'm going to be able to trace if they try to stay anonymous. Good evening, Tommy. I wanted to reach out to you tonight because we had a few members contact us today letting us know about some aggressive behavior. I'm allowed to get aggressive in self-defense, you know. And media being posted online directing at our members, I was able to resolve the situation without escalation. I have to ask you once again that you cease, and media being posted online, that you cease contact with members. This is for the best. If you require mental health assistance, I can work with the community to secure the appropriate assistance you need. Thank you in advance, sweetheart. And I'm like, oh, and who might you be? What organization do you represent? Who are these members feeling threatened? Better still, please introduce yourself before you put passive-aggressive trash like this in my face, condescendingly calling me sweetheart. Saga, I have no idea which idiot has the nerve to put this up like this, but this is part of Commie Dick Girls shit where, you know, I just mentioned Lisette Trujillo because she had believed the libel years ago. And they publicly posted the shit, and I have witness to that if they really want to, like, go toe-to-toe. And I really don't want to, like, even be going down this path right now. I don't like thinking about it. I don't like looking at it. It gives me a headache. Actually, it's after 3 now. Gotta respond to somebody. Yeah, this is me talking with a friend of mine about the term residential schools as a whitewash of history. There were concentration camps. There were extermination camps. Languages, religions, names, histories, and entire cultures were exterminated. These kids were beaten if they spoke their native tongues. Their hair was cut. The bones that have been, the corpses that have been autopsied show clear signs of torture, beatings, and broken limbs and crushed skulls. And my friend said the motto of those times was to take the Indian out of the child, pure ethnic cleansing. I have a friend who's the son of a survivor of one near Flagstaff. I've been reading and listening to the accounts of survivors' kids for some time now. That's exactly what it was about, forced Anglification of native children. Autopsies on remains recently found are horrifying, with the broken limbs and crushed skulls, and nobody's been indicted for anything. And her response, the latest claim is the story of mass graves is a lie. Those were really unmarked cemeteries because families could not afford repatriation of remains. No, these people never knew. These children just disappeared and never came back. But that misses the point. Why would schools need cemeteries in the first place? It's awful. Parents forced to surrender their kids to such places by law, and then they were never seen again. Or survivors tell of flagrant sexual abuse. And I said, do we need to not even give people that stupid who are not long for this world the privilege of a response beyond the link with the facts that refute their bullshit? And I think with that, I'm going to shut this down and go to bed. I napped this afternoon, but now it's after 3, and I'm going to be back up by 5, by 7. I'm sure. I'm man. You know, I'll be back up to pee, no doubt, by 7 o'clock. Happy day. Thanks for watching. Bye. Oh, I wasn't ready to click it. Let's try that again. Happy day. Thanks for watching. Bye.